Hello everyone. In this video you will study the competitive benchmarking. Let's take a look over the contents you will go through in this video. First you will study what is competitive benchmarking. Then followed by the benefits of competitive benchmarking for a business, and then you will have deciding who are the competitors. Next you will have how to do the competitive benchmarking. And finally you will study where is it appropriate to practice the competitive benchmarking. Hence, to know all about the competitive benchmarking, stay tuned till the end of this video. Let's start with what is competitive benchmarking. Any organization's survival depends on its performance relative to the competition. That means where and how an organization stands against the competitors in the market. To face the market competition, the competitive benchmarking is a significant tool for an organization against its competitors. Competitive benchmarking is a method of researching competitors and industry leaders for strategies, practices, and services that help in establishing comparison and benchmarking for performance. Competitive benchmarking is a method of adapting to industry processes as well as prevent losing out of market share. In simple terms, competitive benchmarking is a process set out to find out the best of any business related aspect and use it as the highest standard that the company should strive to achieve. For competitive benchmarking, the benchmarking partners are drawn from the same sector. This type of analysis is often undertaken through consultants to protect confidentiality. Product competitors are an obvious choice to benchmark in case of competitive benchmarking. Now, let's talk about the benefits of competitive benchmarking. Competitive benchmarking is a great performance analysis technique. A company or a business using competitive benchmarking can identify its strong and weak points. On the basis of these points, the company can evaluate itself against the competitors. In case, if competitors are really performing well, then what are the key practices that have led them to move ahead and got the customer's attention? These practices act as industry standards or the highest bar which the company needs to achieve or go beyond in order to establish themselves as a market leader. Competitive benchmarking prevents companies from putting their money in the wrong basket. It provides the thorough knowledge of the market, such as the product competitors, market leaders, close competitors, and new market segment. Without thorough market knowledge, companies may identify problems with their current methods, but finding the optimal improvements that will certainly deliver with their target audience is a shot in the dark. Competitive benchmarking simply shows the strategies that your close competitors and other big names in the industry have adopted. Now we understand how an organization can decide who are its competitors. For competitive benchmarking, it is very important to know who are the competitors. But deciding competitors can be a complex activity. So it is better to divide the market into three segments: industry leaders, close competitors, and upcoming entities on the basis of how the multiple companies are performing in that particular area. Industry leaders. Industry leaders are those entities that are at the top of their game and have an extra advantage for whatever they do. In other words, these companies are equipped with better skills and experience that serve them well in terms of commanding the market. Benchmarking the top leaders in the same industry gives a company a nuanced understanding of how the high rankers achieve their targets. By doing this comparison, a company may get a great opportunity to penetrate the market more deeply. For example, Maruti Suzuki is the industry leader in car manufacturing in India, and no doubt it has a huge market share. Competing with Maruti Suzuki provides the opportunity to a company to understand that how Maruti has been sustained as a most trusted brand among its consumers. Close competitors. Close competitors are the ones that share the same level as your company or the business. Benchmarking close competitors is a strategy that can be used to put your company at a stronger footing by outranking the methods and practices used by the competitors. Comparing with close competitors is a short-term plan that works well on taking inspiration from the areas where your company is good at and pointing towards the activities where your company is a better choice. For example, PepsiCo and Coca-Cola are two very close competitors and always have tight competition to capture the largest possible share of the soft drink market. Upcoming entities or the upcoming market segment. This segment comprises of small firms who are developing and need to be looked out for. Underestimating their size can be a big mistake, the mistake that an established company can't afford. Keep a check on the entities and how they have done their market research in order to penetrate the existing market. This helps a company in identifying those competitors or those companies that could be a future threat and be ready with their own plan by avoiding any uncertainty. For example, in the recent years, the inverter battery market in India is penetrated by many inverter battery manufacturing companies. Hence, the established inverter battery manufacturing company such as Luminous has to take care of all the upcoming companies as a serious challenge in the inverter battery market to maintain its position. Now the big question is how to do the competitive benchmarking. The biggest challenge for executing the competitive benchmarking is to obtain the data of competitors' company. The three common ways to obtain the data of competitors' company are collecting data direct from the competitors, collecting information available in public domain and from third parties, and buying the products of the competitors. Collecting data direct from the competitors. This is really a big challenge and very hard to deal with. But some competitors do share information. For example, mortgage bankers compare their product types, service fees, and interest rates on a weekly basis. Collecting information available in public domain. Here in this case, some organizations would never knowingly share proprietary information. However, the data can be obtained from the sources of information available in public domain, such as consumer reports, product catalog, annual sales turnover published in newspapers, and the data published in financial and business magazines. Collecting data from third-party consultants. The data can also be collected from third-party consultants by paying them a moderate fees. For example, Morningstar evaluates the financial performance of various stocks and JD Powers evaluates automobile customer satisfaction levels. Buying the products of the competitors. Buying a competitor's product to take apart and test is another common practice for collecting data of competitors for competitive benchmarking. For example, Exxon partners with its customers to obtain information about competitors. The organization observes both its products and its competitors' products in use at the customer's location and collects comparative data. Finally, when and where the comparative benchmarking is appropriate. It is most appropriate when a company requires to assess a relative level of performance in key areas or activities in comparison with others in the same sector and wants to find the ways of closing gaps in performance. That's it in this video. I'm sure you have got the meaning and concept of competitive benchmarking clearly. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon in the next episode of Shakehand with Life. Hit the like button and share this video with your friends and colleagues. And don't forget to subscribe Shakehand with Life YouTube channel for my latest videos.